Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is Sean Ray here, and today I'm going to be doing a two-part video, and that's going to be going over what is happening in the real estate market in the first video, and then how I kind of already foresaw this happening, and then where we're at. And the second video is how I'm adjusting to it, and then how I'm still going to profit from what's happening, and how you could too. I'll walk through each individual step and all the different hacks for anybody, no matter what the income, can take advantage of it. So stay tuned, make sure to like and subscribe if you like my content. It's all free, it's just here to help you make money with me so we can all retire together. All right, let's get started. In the first video, it's gonna be what's happening in the market, and specifically Dallas. And so I had a plan back in the day. There was an idea to gather a group of people that could save the world. I'm just kidding. I knew whenever I was starting to invest in Dallas, and especially when I was doing Airbnb stuff, there's going to be phases, and each phase I can ride the wave from this phase to that phase to this phase, this phase to that phase. And then finally at the end of the phases, what am I going to do? I don't know. By the time we get there, we'll figure it out. And that's where we're at right now. This is final phase, and now I'm thinking about the next phase and what to do. The first phase was in the beginning of time, before Airbnb took over all of Dallas. We were one of the first people to really jump in and start taking advantage of this. And then there was an area in Oak Cliff, the Bishop Arts area, that had a lot of development coming. And this was before all the big Bishop Arts area grew and exploded with all these different apartment complexes and all this renovation, and the whole area, 8th Street and 9th Street, all blowing up before the Dallas Zoo construction started going on. And so we got in there really early and started buying properties whenever this was coming up. And then as we were buying properties, by the time that we stopped buying properties, that's whenever the apartment complexes started coming up and all the infrastructure and the Dallas Zoo started being announced and being constructed on the bridge crossover between Oak Cliff and South Dallas. And I thought, okay, well, I remember being in a meeting with Phil Romano, and he was talking about his entire plans for West Dallas. And then at the time, they were building a bunch of new townhomes. And I was like, okay, well, if these townhomes go for what they're wanting to go for, and let me see how many days on market they're gonna go for, then that means that there is hope for this area. There was only one apartment complex over there at the time, the Cypress at Trinity Groves, and they had a shopping strip of just basically restaurants. And it was accepted in Dallas, but it wasn't like a big thing. And so after that meeting and after talking to some developers, I realized they're really gonna, this was 2017, 2018, I was like, they're really gonna make this whole West Dallas area completely different. They're gonna blow stuff up, tear down factories, and make it all infrastructure, all for residential stuff. And so I was like, that's the next phase. After Oak Cliff, we're gonna move all of our money over to West Dallas. And at the time, you can buy brand new builds in an area that wasn't that nice for $100 to $120 per square foot, and we were doing that. I remember the first one, as you guys probably know from watching the channel, it was $130 something per square foot with Ray. And so that was incredible. So we were just buying them up left and right. And I knew this wasn't gonna last forever, because for each new build that was being built, the last comp was used for the new comp, which is 137 to 140, 140, 145. And it kept on going up until now today it's over $350, $360 per square foot. Whoa, it's crazy. If you guys watch my other videos, you know about what happened in West Dallas. The ability for you to buy in West Dallas right now to put on Airbnb is slim to none. We had one deal in my 2 videos ago, like if I were to start right now video, it was $410,000. I had an investor that went in on it. He didn't go in at the price I told him to go in on, and then eventually we lost the deal. But that might have been the last good deal. It was a 5-bedroom for $410,000. Oh my God, I can't believe that even existed. That might have been the last good deal in West Dallas. If we get lucky, I'll let you guys know if you're on my investor list. Right now on investor list, I sent it out, and we restarted the investor list with new investors that are aggressive and take action whenever I say, hey, there's a good deal. They actually buy things. The next phase after West Dallas, so that phase is gone. The next phase I thought was going to be South Dallas, which we transitioned. There's a couple of my investors, we bought maybe 10 homes for Airbnb over in South Dallas before it went too much, but that leapfrogged real quick because of the growth over in Oak Cliff. that kind of pushed over into South Dallas because of the Dallas Zoo expansion with the highway. And then West Dallas, all those same builders there in West Dallas, all were in South Dallas too at the same time, building simultaneously but at a lower price point. And now that price point has caught up with West Dallas. We're in the 250, 270 range. I'm even seeing things start to touch 300 in South Dallas. So right now, the final chapter of South Dallas, it was the first chapter and final chapter all happened within like 6 to 9 months. So if you have not bought in South Dallas already, you need to buy right now because you don't have that much time. I'm talking about if there are any good deals left, if there are, because South Dallas isn't a $10,000 to $15,000 a month market for Airbnb. It's more like a 5-bedroom can do 8 to 10 if we're lucky, 4 bedrooms 6 to 8, but you know, if you have a nice one, more towards that 8. So you can't do as much. You can't buy a $650,000, $700,000 house and expect to be making $10,000 or $15,000 on it a month. So you need to be more aware of like what is the good deals and if there are any more coming out, which there might be. You have to be patient, but there might be. The next chapter and the final chapter of the story is the South Dallas Fair Park area. Now this is a very difficult chapter. Oak Cliff was supposed to be the hood back in the day, but it really was never that big of a hood. There was some hood-like symptoms for sure, but there was a lot of really nice neighborhoods over in Oak Cliff that I would have loved to live there 10, 15 years ago, let alone today. It's fine. West Dallas, very tough. There are certain parts of West Dallas that you can get away with, but certain parts of West Dallas, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe people live over here. Like anybody, like this is wild. And so that is difficult, and it's been a hurdle for us to invest in West Dallas. South Dallas, even worse. There's only certain areas in South Dallas that you can really invest in and not have to worry about your tenants on Airbnb losing their minds. Like very few areas, but you gotta be careful on where you go. And you can't go outside of this street or that street, but you can still find a good deal and it'll still work. When it comes to the final countdown with the Fair Park area, there was literally only one street. Now I'm gonna show you clips right now while I'm talking of what it looks like. So this is Fair Park. As we're driving through, it rained the other day, so I should have washed my windshield, so don't judge me on that. But as you're driving through, you see that the neighborhood there's no real nice part of South Dallas, or I'm sorry, of the Fair Park area of South Dallas. There is one street, what I'll show you in a second, and that is very interesting, the history on it. But there was a push of one demographic to all of the Dallas area. It was a racist push to get them outside of the greater part of Dallas. And they got pushed into this area. And it was one entire demographic got pushed in this area. Now, when they were pushed in this area, there was no support by the local government, no support by local citizens, and they were left to their own. There was barely any public transportation to there. It was a food desert. There was no real access to any kind of groceries or any kind of food stores. And there was no local government putting any money into infrastructure. And so they were kind of left on their own for a long time. There was one street that all this particular demographic, the rich doctors and the local politicians and everyone that had money, they came in and they all built these incredible homes on the street, and they wanted to be a part of this neighborhood because they wanted to give back to this neighborhood and be a part of giving back and building up this neighborhood. And so, as I said, in a second, you'll get to see what the street looks like, and it's a completely different street. I'm talking about one street over, it's back to people walking up and down the street with food carts and hauling all their personal belongings. One street over from there, you have people passed out on the side of the road from too much drug use. One street over, you have people all on the street yelling and screaming at each other in a very unsafe, unfriendly way that wouldn't be good for Airbnb guests. And so every part of this neighborhood is very difficult to be salvaged. I'm going to show you a video right now of this new home that was just built, and it was built by someone that has living on a hope and a dream. He's selling this house for $400,000 right now, and he's from Dubai, or he just got back. He was in Dubai for a while, then he lived in Vegas, and now he's in Dallas, and he's building 4 of these homes in this area all at one time, because he believes that he can have the hope to revitalize the whole area by building super cool homes. The problem with this house, as you might have been seeing in the video, is that it is way too nice. There has to be a transitionary period. With every time that you go into a new market, there needs to be a home that is nicer for people that are in a lower income bracket to come in there, and then a nicer version, and then a nicer version, and then a 2-story version, and then a nice version of that, and then you can start doing these super modern homes. This home skipped all that, went super modern, has full 4-ceiling windows, all in the front, and with no shades. And so anything that you have of value is just open for the world to see. And the neighbors, while I was there, were not very happy with us being there. They would all be standing out on their porch and on their lawn, walking straight up to the curb with their arms crossed, staring at people as they were doing the open house for this house. So they are not happy with this house being there, nor people coming into their neighborhood. And so there's a transition period that's not there for this house. But I'm showing you that this house is being sold. This house has multiple offers on it for $400,000. The house next door literally has drug users while we were there, sitting on the porch, doing drugs. And they were coming over, watering the land, watering the grass, and asking people for money at the open house. This is happening right now. And so in the future, in 3 to 5 years, if this continues and there is enough demand and people are willing to be in this area, then this could be a really good play for your next Airbnb place. You can get in now, high risk, high reward. You get in a decent part of this neighborhood that could work, and then you can see to make that $6,000 to $8,000 a month house if you get a nice house, and you can get it off of Main Street and go into the neighborhood without any real noticing the local territory and the people that are walking down the streets at night asking for money. I mean, there really is people, whenever I go on these streets at night and I stop at a stop sign, they'll knock on my window and they'll be like asking me, hey, do you want me to come in the car and do any kind of favors? And I'm like, whoa, back up. No, I'm not interested in that. I'm like, hey, are you looking for something? I got someone down the street I can help you out with. What are you looking for? It's like, no. I'm seriously just, I missed my exit on 30 and it rerouted me through here and I'm trying to get back to the highway. And it happens a lot more than you would think. So this is this neighborhood. Let me show you a clip really quick about the really nice street. So if you can find a listing on this street is right above Malcolm X Boulevard, and it's a great street. The street's very wide. There's a lot of demand for this area, and homes don't really go on the market a lot on this street just because people have been living there for a long time. And the history behind it is they want the street to stay this way. It's called South Boulevard. They want it to stay that way just because they want to keep the current demographic in the area. They want to keep that support for that community. So is it right to even do Airbnb on the street? Given the history, given the reason for it being, that's a personal decision, up to you. I would lean more towards the no. I would say let this neighborhood continue in the path that is going, but ultimately that's a personal choice that you have to make. There are some homes on the street that can use $100,000 to $200,000 renovation, and now you have yourself a mansion on the street that can do very well on Airbnb. There's certain homes on this street that are doing $15,000 to $30,000 a month on Airbnb if you check AirDNA. So that is something that you need to decide. Now that's the final phase of the Dallas expansion. Let's go back really quick. Oak Cliff, West Dallas, South Dallas, still an option for you if you're super lucky. And then if you are not willing to be that super lucky, wait for a great offer, then right now is the time to buy in South Dallas. But you have to be super selective. But you can buy homes for $300,000, $250,000, $300,000, $350,000 right now in South Dallas. But you will have issues with the neighbors. You have to know that. So just know that. That's the final phase. That's the phases of Dallas. Now, once that's gone, what are you gonna do? There is nothing left for you to do when it comes to Airbnb in Dallas. I know that sounds crazy for all you Dallas investors, but the price per square foot for the home that you get is not feasible. You cannot buy a home in Plano or Garland or Richardson or wherever, Coppell, Carrollton, McKinney. You can't buy a home for $250 to $270 or more dollars per square foot that is a 3-bedroom that's super old, built in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and needs renovation. These homes, they could potentially at their current price make enough money on Airbnb, $8,000 or more a month, maybe even 10 if you're lucky. But really for a 3-bedroom, it's gonna be like 6 to 8. But you also need to put renovation money into it, which is gonna kill your cash on cash returns. The likelihood of you getting a brand new, beautiful built, amazing property around Dallas right now under that $250 price point, $250 per price point is the key. You can get up to $270 depending on the house, but really anything above that doesn't work financially. So the idea of you getting that anywhere in Dallas, I look all the time, is very slim, especially in an area that's gonna work for an Airbnb investment. You can go way outside in the middle of nowhere and you can do it, but the likelihood is you're not gonna find it. So what is a man to do or a woman to do? That's where we're gonna go into the second part of this video, and we're gonna talk about what am I doing next to transition. It's a very complicated video. It's gonna get into a lot of really difficult loopholes of real estate, and then taking this and moving this and putting this over here. So you gotta put your thinking caps on, get your coffee ready, and we're gonna go into depth on how you can use the final chapter of your real estate career, my real estate career, to still make money even in the highest of high markets. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. I will do my best to comment on all your comments, and thank you so much for always participating and engaging. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully we can continue to make money together, and if you guys get a chance and you already are pre-approved and you're willing to take action now, if I send you a deal, it will only last for 2 or 3 days. And so don't sit on a deal. If I send you a list and that means that it will make you money, you have to invest in it. So if you're that person that wants to make money in Dallas and you have a way and the infrastructure to do it, I'm not gonna manage it for you. You've gotta figure out a way to manage it. You gotta figure out a way to furnish it. But if that's who you are, make sure to email me at sean@seanrayrealty.com and I can put you on the list and we can make money together. But you have to take action. This is not time to be sitting around waiting for deals because they will go away. All right, thank you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe and see you in the next video. Bye guys. Yes, sir. High five.
Tesla is my dream car. I really like. I never drive the one so. How do you open the door? Like this.
How do you open the doors? Yeah, like that.
You know how to open the door?
There you
like
go.
This?
Yeah.
Whoa. Good. Take it, Tesla.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Tesla. Open the booty hole.
Open the booty hole.
He opened it for you. Open this front.
Open the front. There you go.
Yeah, how much charge you got?